Continuing the development. After graduating from IDI in 2004, I moved back to Colombia and began teaching as an instructor in interaction design at the University and Universidad de los Andes. As I continued to develop wiring, IDI decided to print and assemble a batch of 100 wiring boards to teach physical computing at IDI in late 2004. Bill Verplank, a former IDI faculty member, asked Massimo Bonzi to send 10 of the boards to me for use in my classes in Colombia. In 2004, faculty member Yaniv Steiner, former student Giorgio Oliveira, and information designer consultant Paulo Sanchez started the initial SOAP project based on wiring at IDI. First major success, strangely familiar. In the autumn of 2004, wiring was used to teach physical computing at IDI through a project called Strangely Familiar, consisting of 22 students and 11 successful projects. 4 faculty members ran the 4-week project. Massimo Banzi, Heather Martin, Yaniv Steiner, Reto Vetac. It turned out to be a resounding success for both the students as well as the professors and teachers. Strangely familiar demonstrated the potential of wiring as an innovation platform for interaction design. On December 16, 2004, Bill Verplank sent an email to me saying, "The projects were wonderful. Everyone had things working. 5 of the projects had motors in them. Most advanced from 2 MIT grads, architect and mathematician. Allowed driving a profile in processing and filling it with a wheel motor run by wiring. It is clear that one of the elements of success was the use of the wiring board. Here is the brief for the course. Here is a booklet with the resulting projects. The rest of the world. In May 2005, I contacted Advanced Circuits in the USA to print the first 2000 printed circuit boards outside of IDI and assembled them in Colombia. I began selling and shipping boards to various schools and universities, and by the end of 2005, wiring was being used around the world. When did Arduino begin and why weren't you a member of the Arduino team? The formation of Arduino. IDI manufactured the first set of wiring boards. The cost was probably around $50 each. I don't know what the actual cost was, as I wasn't involved in the process. However, I was selling the boards from Colombia for about $60. This was a considerable drop in price from the boards that were currently available, but it was still a significant cost for most people. In 2005, Massimo Banzi, along with David Melins, an IDI student at the time, and David Quartieles, added support for cheaper Atmega 8 microcontroller to wiring. Then they forked or copied the wiring source code and started running it as a separate project called Arduino. There was no need to create a separate project, as I would have gladly helped them and developed support for the Atmega 8 and any other microcontrollers. I had planned to do this all along. I had inadvertently taken a photo of some notes about my plans for wiring. In the photo of Carmen Franinovic, former IDI student from 2002 to 2004, testing a stretch sensor for a lamp in March 2004. Wiring and Arduino shared many of the early development done by Nicolas Zambetti, a former IDI student in the same class as David Melis. For a brief time, Nicolas had been considered a member of the Arduino team. Around the same time, Gianluca Martina, he was a consultant of SERP, the printed circuit board factory at Ivrea, where the first wiring boards were made, joined the Arduino team to help with manufacturing and hardware development. So, to reduce the cost of the boards, Gianluca, with some help from David Quartieles, developed a cheaper hardware by using the Atmega 8. Apparently this is the first Arduino prototype, dubbed Wiring Lite. I think Massimo Banzi designed this one, but I'm unsure. Arduino Extreme version 2. Second production version of the Arduino USB boards. This has been properly engineered by Gianluca Martina. Tom Igor, a faculty member at the ITP at NU, was invited to Massimo Bonzi to IDE for a workshop and became part of the Arduino team. To this day, I do not know exactly why the Arduino team forked the code from wiring. It was also puzzling why we didn't work together. So, to answer the question, I was never asked to become a member of the Arduino team. Even though I was perplexed by the Arduino team forking the code, I continued developing on wiring, and almost all of the improvements that had been made to wiring by me and plenty of contributors were merged into Arduino source code. I tried to ignore the fact that they were still taking my work and also wondered about the redundancy and waste of resources in duplicating efforts. By the end of 2005, I started to work with Casey Reese on a chapter for the book Processing, a Programming Handbook for Visual Artists and Designers. The chapter presents a short history of electronics in the arts. It includes examples for interfacing processing with wiring and Arduino. I presented those examples in both platforms and made sure the examples included worked for both wiring and Arduino. The book got second edition in 2013, and chapter was revised again by Casey and me, and the extension has been made available online since 2013.